But people are saying Matt Walsh is going to leave the Daily Wire. And this clip specifically is what people are referencing. We're going to play this for you. Here we go.
What did you think of the debate between Dave Smith and Douglas Murray on Rogan a couple of weeks ago? Did you watch that? And what
I did. I watched. I ended up watching. I wasn't planning on watching the whole thing, but I watched the whole thing. I'm constantly hearing from the peanut gallery demanding that I kind of give my verdict or my take on Israel and Israel versus Palestine and all.
Here we go.
All this kind of stuff. And I have given my take. And my take is I don't care that much. I'm not just America first. I'm an American chauvinist. And that.
You already know Ben Shapiro's in the background. Like, he comes out of a hole in the ground in the middle of nowhere.
I only care about my own country. I honestly don't care about other countries. I wish the people of other countries well. I think they all have a right to defend themselves, and they should. I think that if you can't defend yourself as a nation, or if you can't survive without being propped up by another government, say ours, then you shouldn't exist as a country.
Wait.
I feel like this is a mainstream perspective here that keeps getting more and more attention, but this is correct. If you are a foreign government and you cannot survive without the aid of the United States, you should not be a country. I completely support that. And what he says about Israel is very true. Why should Israel continue to rely on us when the United States spends billions and billions of dollars still on weapons that are going to kill innocents? I just don't understand. And furthermore, why is Israel our greatest ally? Has anybody ever really answered that question? Because nobody seems to tell us why Israel is quote-unquote our greatest ally. Last time I checked, we fight their wars. So there's that. There's conspiracy that they attacked us. Not just the conspiracy of 9/11, but they also attacked the USS Liberty, which is real. And they covered it up. They killed Americans. There's that. And they have the biggest lobby. We never talk about this, right? If China or Russia had a foreign lobby and they donated to politicians' electoral campaigns, because that's how you can pay them legally, if they paid our politicians and they got our politicians to vote how Israel or how China and Russia wanted them to vote, we would think this is unconstitutional, this is wrong. But because it's Israel, our greatest ally, because Israel is giving money to our politicians and then making our politicians vote however Israel wants, I guess it's okay because it's our greatest ally. This is the biggest lobby, not just the biggest foreign lobby. The biggest lobby in Washington is the Israel lobby. We let this foreign country dictate what our politicians do. That's just it. Most of our politicians, let's say 90% of our politicians are puppets, including Donald Trump at times. This is true. And when you find out that the Democrats and the Republicans play for the same team, Israel, and Israel just says, oh, puppet, the blue puppet over here is going to go against the red puppet. And we're just going to make them fight. And we're going to make the people fight too. So you don't see what we're really doing, which is controlling the puppets to influence dissent and influence what the people think. It just never makes sense. And there's, it's mostly boomers, but you see some people that are Gen X say, oh, you know, the Jews, they're not the Jews, but Israel, it's God's chosen country. And this isn't an anti-Semitic thing. Because like I really think that everybody deserves to live in harmony, regardless if you're Christian, Muslim, Jewish. But just the fact that it's Israel, and there are a lot of Jewish people that are really opposed to what Israel's doing, even in Israel. So the country's not bad. But the government, I really don't agree with what the government's doing, and I know a lot of people around the world don't as well. But going back to it, this country, this government, this foreign government controls what our politicians do. And so a lot of people are waking up to it, including mainstream conservatives like Matt Walsh. Let's finish the clip.
Wait. If you can't exist without being propped up by another government, say ours, you shouldn't exist. Yeah. Israel cannot exist without being propped up by the United States.
You think so?
Its nuclear program came from the United States. Its weapons come from the United States. Its economy is supported by the United States. I'm not attacking Israel. I'm just saying in point of fact, I think that's true. I mean, Israel thinks it's true, or they wouldn't have armies of lobbyists and influencers in the United States.
What did I just say? Folks, come on. More and more people are waking up to this fact. But the majority of Americans still don't get it. A foreign country controls all of our majority of our politicians, and nobody seems to care. If our politicians actually made decisions on just behalfs of themselves, right? If they just made selfish decisions and made decisions based off of like making money for themselves, not on behalf of a country, sure, we would be mad. I mean, they'd still have a low approval rating, but at least it would be our country, and we wouldn't be controlled by another country. But in this scenario, we're still being controlled.
States, Bibi wouldn't have shown up twice in the past 3 months.
From my perspective, it seems like they can handle themselves quite fine. But
he has to say that, by the way. He still works at the Daily Wire.
Any country, if there is any country out there that fundamentally cannot exist without being subsidized by American taxpayers, then not only should that country not exist, but that country already does not exist.
Yeah. It's a great point by Matt Walsh. More and more people are waking up to this fact, and when you wake up to this fact, you get red-pilled on this. You'll get red-pilled on a lot more. But like I said, more and more people are waking up, but not enough people know. So there's that. There's that. Yeah, man, it's just really interesting. It's really interesting how all of this stuff is happening with our government, and hopefully more people get it. Can we talk about Thunderbolts real quick? We're going to transition one more time.